the rugged hills of Davis, Oklahoma, and the legendary Crossbar Ranch. Today, the toughest drivers on the planet face off, where the terrain is unforgiving and only the strongest will survive. From high-speed dirt straights to axle-snapping rock climbs, Crossbar will test every ounce of horsepower, suspension, and sheer willpower these racers bring to the line. This isn't just a race, it's a battle between man, machine, and the Oklahoma wild. So buckle up, hold on, and get ready, because the Kings of Grit are at Crossbar Ranch.
First time at Crossbar, it lived up to the hype, man. A lot of people are pretty much, they're warning you before you get here, the rocks and the gnarliness and stuff, but a lot of fast pace, and man, it really fits in our wheelhouse. The rocks and all the nasty stuff, the better. I think it kind of separates your top drivers and some of those guys that are pretenders or contenders, you know. So it's nasty. We made it through, and you know, a little bit of water, a little bit of rocks, but it was a lot of fun. So looking forward to the race. It's gonna be good.
So this place is just, it's brutal. It can be, it's very deceiving, as I said, because you're like, oh, it's not that bad, we'll be fine. And then the next thing you know, these guys are changing tires because their cords are showing and all their treads are going, and we're still running. So it's got some tricks in its sleeve.
This course that they've laid out here at Crossbar is a mini King of the Hammers. There's rocks, there's trees, there's water, which is different than King of the Hammers, which gives a whole new element. But it's, you know, a lap here is maybe 15 to 20 miles on a given weekend. It's rough. The race we did back in October, my car was, after 100 miles, was torn up more than it was at King of the Hammers. They put us through the ringer out here, and it never stops. I think the only time we get to like actually kind of breathe when we get on the short course. Other than that, it's chatter, boulders, water, mud holes. You know, it's a lot of fun. You got to keep it in the two tracks. You got to keep the tires straight, keep the air inside of them, and keep the tires down.
You know, like I said, you know, I'm a rock guy at heart, so like the rock stuff's just fun to me. You know, that's stuff we ride on the weekends, and then we get a race, it makes it even better. And the rocks are slick. I was a little surprised today with how slick the rocks got once they got wet. Got to get some heat in the tires to get up on top of them. The water's a whole nother ball game. You know, you got to conserve the car. These cars aren't exactly all waterproof with the electronics and radios, so you know, you got a fine line of going fast through the water and trying to get a good time, or slowing down and trying to conserve the electronics in the car.
At every Ultra 4 race, there is a qualifying round for all classes on a shortened part of the race course. This will determine the starting order for the main races. Strategy varies between each driver, with some preferring to start out front with clean air, while others prefer the thrill of the chase. The Open UTV class is where raw speed meets precision control, and today, every second counts. This is a one-lap shootout, and some of these cars will hit 100 miles per hour in the field sections of this course.
I absolutely love Crossbar Ranch. We've come to every race that's been held here since I started racing with Ultra 4. I think it's just a great mix of all the aspects of our racing, you know. There's trails that are similar to Hammers as far as the roughness and the rocks. There's some crazy fun open prairie sections where you can haul the mail. And then there's tight woods and plenty of off camber, little gotchas. So I mean, it really encompasses everything that Ultra 4 is about, and it's an awesome track.
I think one advantage that I bring to the table is being able to raise the intensity, but also not let it get me too flustered. So when qualifying comes around, I can lay down a heater, and having that ability to do a sprint, and then being able to turn that off and turn that back on in a race situation, I think that's a good thing, because if your pit's letting you know that, hey, you got to make up 30 seconds, okay, it's winding down towards the end of the race, I can put the hammer down and go. I think that's a skill that some people may lack, and so I like to use that to my advantage if I can. There's a fine line between wadding the car up and holding it together for the end of the race. these courses that we run, King of the Hammers, Crossbar, and all these races that we go to are not, they're nasty races, and it's a race of attrition. So there's that fine line of trying to be fast and finish the race. You know, you can put down a heater, but if you're breaking your car, blowing tires, stuff like that, you're not getting there. And that was one thing I had to learn, that you got to sometimes back it down to make it to the finish line.
So the big difference between Ultra 4 and other types of off-road sport is Ultra 4 is the roughest terrain. We're looking for, it's unlimited four-wheel drive. We're not looking for a short course that's ironed and grooved out, and guys complain about too big of holes. We race through the holes. You don't complain about them, you figure out how to navigate them and race. Same thing with rock bouncing. It's very short, you only last a minute. You only have to run for a minute, so it's not real long. This is an hour and a half race of the violence of rock bouncing and the meticulous pinpoint driving a short course of you know, setting turns up and being very particular how you enter and exit turns, taking care of the car, not cutting down tires. A lot of methodical driving goes into it, as well as being aggressive.
We just got done in the UTV in a hurry. We thought the sprag was broke because that was, a lot of guys have had problems, and so we just assumed it was that. And apparently it was actually the drive shaft and a carrier bearing in the back of the motor. So they're working on it now. So we qualified both runs in two-wheel drive. Hopefully we can get it fixed. This, again, it's a new car, new problems. We don't have a lot of information on the car. I'm gonna go qualify this kind of early to get it out of the way. That way it's qualified and I can get back and get to helping them guys on that car and try to get it together so we can race it this afternoon. We got lucky enough, Mr. Anderson, he has a spare car, a pre-runner car here, so we're stealing parts off of it so we can race. That's kind of cool with our sport is guys want to beat you on the track, man. They don't want to beat you in the pit. So pretty neat to have competition like this.
So I own and operate all the cars. Obviously I have sponsors and help people to help, but we don't win, we don't get paid. It's that simple. So this is my job, this is what I do for a living. So for me, it's I'm here to win. I'll wreck anybody that's in my way or run them over, whatever I gotta do to get there, I'll get there.
You always race to win. We're not out here just to go rock crawling, whatever. We're gonna race to win. We don't win a lot. We have a hell of a lot of fun doing it. We help a lot of people. We'll stop, pull somebody back over if they're flipped over. We'll give them parts, fluid, same way. That's the thing I like about Ultra 4. We wanna beat you on the track. We might smack talk the crap out of you when we're sitting off on the pits or whatever, but we're gonna give you anything we can, whether it's a tire or pull you. I mean, we've pulled people in, but that's what I like about Ultra 4, and that's why I do it.
It's tough. I mean, it's not only tough on the car to find a company to build you a good car, good mechanic to set it up for these races, but it's tough on your body, tough on your mind. Obviously, failures in the car when it's something simple, it just breaks your heart. I mean, so it's always I can go more, I can go a little faster, we can build it a little bigger, we can see how far we can take this thing.
Did qualifying this morning, went pretty smooth, had a little hiccup, was a little confused with the course, thought we were staying on a short course, ended up out on the trail, wanted to make sure where I was at, but don't think we did too bad, probably middle of the road. We'll catch them on the race course though.
We're running it in reverse this year. It's different, it's a mind game. So we're used to everything else going this way, now we're going this way. And the last jump had a kicker, they shaved it. So I decided to scrub it and keep the wheels on the ground, let the car pivot, and it pivoted pretty dang hard, and I cut across all the grass. Shortcut, but it worked.
Nick Anderson turned in the fastest qualifying time by nearly 6 seconds over Cody Willenborg, followed by Robert Leibel and Jay Shaw. It was Dustin Robbins inching out Nick Anderson to take the #1 position. Paul Wolf was third in two-wheel drive and Jay Shaw finished fourth. It was Philip McGilton making the fastest qualifying lap, and he'll sit in the pole position, followed by Cole Clark in second, Chris Branton and Paul Wolf in fourth in car number 1018. It's time for the 4900 Open UTV class. These machines may be smaller than the 4400s, but don't let that fool you. The 4900s are lightning fast, nimble, and built to take on every brutal inch of this Ultra 4 course. From wide open desert stretches to technical rock sections, these drivers are fearless, pushing side-by-sides to their absolute limit. Who's got the skill, the stamina, and the guts to take the checkered flag? We're gonna find out. This is Ultra 4, and this is the 4900 class.
There's guys you don't even know that are willing to tear their car apart to get you parts to get you running. Every other sport of racing that we've done, it's cutthroat, like, I ain't helping you out, you're here to race me, and if you beat me, blah, blah, blah. But this, shirt off your back if you need it.
We raced out here at Crossbar last year in the 4900 class for our first time, and we qualified great, qualified second in class, and then took the start line, and about halfway through the race, we started having suspension issues. You know, the bolts had backed out, and we had just passed the pits, so there were obviously no turning around on a race course. So we thought we could take it on to the finish line, but it just got worse and worse and worse to where we really almost couldn't even drive the car. So the next time we come around to the pits, we pulled in, tried to fix it before the race ended, and just unfortunately ran out of time and didn't finish. So we got a DNF last year, but we're back for redemption this year.
I'm Nathan Anderson. I own Anderson Racing. My son Nick Anderson is the driver. Co-driver is Anthony Denny. We've been in racing for a little over a year full time. We go to every race looking to win. We don't go looking to just finish.
Nathan Anderson started the UTV Open race in the pole position, but would be passed early in the race by Cody Willenborg. His race would be cut short midway through his final lap when he lost the passenger front shock, A-arm, and axle, rendering his car completely immobile.
We lost the whole front end of the car.
And getting an update from my buddy Nick Anderson. He is out, broken A-arm and a shock. And I just texted him back to see if he's going to make the next race, because that seems like a pretty good feat. We'll see what he's got to say. But Nick Anderson is out of the race. He had a great race going until he didn't.
I have a deep racing background. I started racing dirt bikes at a young age, and my family actually all drag races. So I grew up kind of racing and at the racetrack, but drag racing is kind of boring. You just go in a straight line, you race for like 4 or 5 seconds. So, you know, you travel all the way across the world, get to a racetrack, you race for 5 seconds, you lose, you go home, you know. UTV racing, you can be the best guy or the worst guy out there. You get to race the same amount of time as the guys winning or the guys losing, and that's what kind of makes it super, you know, super interesting to me. And it's safe. I mean, you can get hurt doing this, but roll cage, the good safety equipment we have these days, it's a very safe way to go, so you can still go to work on Monday. You know, rocks is what we do or did on the weekends for fun, and it really crosses over, you know, in a race atmosphere. So for sure the rocks. And the second thing I would say is being able to drive fast in the dust. You know, you can't be afraid to slow down when it gets dusty, and a lot of guys do. And you got to drive blind sometimes to really get a feel for where the track is, and make good notes. That's another big one. You've got to make good notes. You've got to pre-run. You've got to have good notes going into these races. I've always had a very different race strategy than I do now. I used to always just be the guy I want to go out and put a real solid run in and finish, and do my whole season that way. And I was content with top 5. But in the last, I'm going to say the last half a dozen races, we've been placing better and better. And anymore, I know we can run up there with the big boys in the front, and we're going to go out there and do it.
Cody Willenborg. After starting the race in second position, Cody would pass for the lead very early in the open race. But the glory of leading the race would be short-lived after catching a flat tire in the first lap. Cody had to stop in the pit. Midway through the second lap, he suffered a broken front shock that would take him out of contention and end his race early. After breaking a drive shaft in open qualifying, Paul and crew would be forced to perform a quick turnaround repair in the pits after qualifying third in UTV modified in only 2-wheel drive. Unfortunately, they missed their starting time and had to start dead last in the open race. But it wasn't long before Paul had picked off the majority of the race field and was knocking on the back door of Jay Shaw, the physical race leader.
I think it's a lot of fun to come out here and compete at a high level. The drivers that show up, everybody that brings that sport together. It's a lot of fun. This sport's different from an aspect that everybody enjoys doing it to an extent where it's a hobby, but we're extremely competitive hobby. And it's really special to be able to come out here and race. But at the same time, man, my little girl, dude, she don't take no loser. And so I got second, at the last race, and she looks at me and says, "Daddy, that ain't winning." So you gotta be able to bring back the win, to get any kind of glory. So I think that brings a lot of people back and keeps you coming back for more, even when you have good weekends and bad weekends. I think you got some good drivers here, but I think that I'm one of the fastest in the nation, and when I show up, I don't show up with, "Oh yeah, I hope we have a good time." Winning's fun, and so when you win, you have a good time, and until then, you're always chasing that. So I show up with the mindset that, hey, we're here to show out, put our sponsors on the box, and take a trophy home and have a good time that way. So if you go home tucking your tail, it sucks. So we're here to win, and I think that I can compete at the highest level. I think I'm the one to beat, and I think when we roll up, people know that. Some of these longer races, 3 laps, 5 laps, and you know that the course is going to be rocky and nasty. I think you do try to let that first lap come to you a little bit, get your groove going, try not to make any crazy mistakes or anything like that. And then I think you put the hammer down towards the middle, the end of the race to try to make up your time and see if you can go for the win. If you can't make it past lap 1, then you're not in the fight. But if you got a good car towards the end of the race, then you're about to hammer down and go try to win it. And there's been plenty of times where, I've been leading the race and I let the emotions of they're creeping into who's behind me, or let your mind wander, and your anxiety starts to rise and the heart starts pumping. You start breathing a little harder, get arm pump. Those things kind of roll into not allowing yourself to focus on what's in front of you and what you got going. And I think that's a big thing that you got to do, is just try to focus in on what you can control at the now, and hope that everything goes well enough to you're there at the end. I think that's a big thing.
Jay Shaw would battle Paul for the majority of the race, but would experience mechanical issues towards the end of the race that would cause his car to go into limp mode for the remainder of the race, ending his race in 3rd place.
Originally I got into rock bouncing, and the way I got into that is it's a short hill climb, all out, 110%, very violent, and that suited my style of aggressiveness. I realized that Ultra 4 was another test of that same thing. It rewarded you being extremely aggressive, but if you were too aggressive, the car broke and you were out of the race. So you learn to walk that fine line. The slogan in the trailer is "Don't unload it if you don't plan on winning." So that's pretty much sums up the whole racing. So when I'm on my way and prepping, I'm worried about the cars and how to mechanically set them up so I have the best advantage over every other driver. Everything from shock tuning to the best tire packages, tire pressures, wheel combinations, everything. We're just doing it. And then me in particular, I watch the budget side because I own my own race team, so I have to watch the money side of it. Where can I cut costs and still make sure I win? I do all the prep, so I'm the mechanic, I'm the truck driver, I'm everything. I set up here at the tent and everything. I run the cars through pre-running. I come back, I do all the adjustments myself. I'm pretty much a one-man team, and it's just that way because of finances. You know, financially, that's what makes the most sense for the position I'm in. And my capabilities allow me to be a good mechanic. I've learned how to do that, so it's one thing I don't have to pay for.
Starting dead last, passing everyone for the race lead and the win.
And Jay Shaw.
And everybody chipped in. The Andersons, they brought their pre-runner over and dropped it off at my tent, said steal whatever you need out of it. Offered literally the motor, transmission, everything out of the car to me. Their mechanics came over and helped me. Nathan Parker, all these guys came over and helped tremendously. I can't thank all of them enough, the whole crew. Of course, Chris Hickman. Got the car back together. I was able to come out here and kind of redeem all their hard work. I hope they, you know, I appreciate what they did for me. I hope I was able to redeem it, you know.
Up next, race fans, it's the 4900 UTV modified class. These aren't your everyday side-by-sides. These are finely tuned, purpose-built race machines packed with more speed, more suspension, and more attitude. The drivers behind the wheel are fearless, pushing their rigs to the ragged edge through the rocks, the ruts, and the wide open stretches. The modified class is where innovation meets adrenaline and where the balance of power and precision decides the winner. Buckle in, because the 4900 UTV modifieds are about to light up this Ultra 4 course.
So John Crowley, famous commentator, awesome guy. He likes to say I'm checkers or wreckers, but I can't remember the last time I really wadded it up, so I don't know what he's talking about there. I think that being able to raise the intensity and going fast, I think people can misconceive that, you know, you're a wild man. I like to be controlled, take care of the car, but if I need to put the hammer down, I got it.
Long day. We ran the open class this morning, and you know, we got a podium there. Quick turnaround, got the car ready again, fueled up, and changed fire suits. So we were dry, and man, it was awesome. 3 hard laps, and Paul got me at the end. So I think first lap I caught him. I had some time on him. Second lap I seen him on the short course. He had a minute just in time, but we were, I mean, neck and neck, and we battled all day. Third lap he put it to the wood and really just beat me. And so kudos to him. Good run. The course is awesome, man. This was a lot of fun out here, and yeah, look to do it again, man. I hope me and him can battle all year. Yeah, it makes it fun when you got somebody that you're trying to chase or they're chasing you. So we'll regroup, get the car back ready, and see you guys in the next one.
Cars struggle to climb the obstacle known as screen door. As the race progresses, the optimal race line changes due to competitors dragging water up the hill and digging it out. After failing to climb on the first try, some drivers' mindset for the rest of the lap changes, and they may try to push harder to make up what they felt was lost time. Nick Anderson was able to get the car repaired, but would only make it a few miles in before they were out of the race for good.
It's like at King of Hammers. We had a few problems, some flats, different things, broken axle or two, and Nick gets frustrated. And I just holler at him on the radio and tell him, son, calm down, just keep going, and we pushed all the way to the last 12 miles. He broke the winch rope 5 times, and I was hollering at him on the radio, couldn't get him on the radio. He'd finally backed up and stopped, and I got him on the cell phone. He goes, Dad, I just really don't know what to do. He goes, he said, I think we're done. He goes, I've tried to climb the rock face there. I don't know exactly what the hill it is, but he ended up breaking another axle. And I said, well, son, if that's all you can do, that's all you can do. And that also frustrates him when he bends stuff or tires stuff up, but that's all part of racing. I have to tell him, it's okay, we're gonna break things. That's the only way we can learn.
Matt Wilson ran a good race, moving from 9th place off the start to 6th on course before he lost fuel pumps in his car, ending his race.
I started my racing career in 2016. A group of friends got me out to Hammers, and it just bit me. I've been racing ever since. Win, lose, or draw, you just think you can do better next time. It's tough. I mean, it's not only tough on the car to find a company to build you a good car, good mechanic, to set it up for these races, but it's tough on your body, tough on your mind. Obviously, failures in the car when it's something simple, it just breaks your heart. I mean, so it's always I can go more, I can go a little faster, we can build it a little bigger, we can see how far we can take this thing.
Jay Shaw and Paul Wolf had another great battle trading the lead. Jay resolved all issues from the previous race, just did not have the pace to catch Paul and finish the race in 2nd place.
It's a lot of fun, man. I mean, this guy, he's on it. We actually fought him a little harder this race than the first race. I think we were ahead going into the 3rd lap, and he put the freaking hammer down. And I guess I got to get back in the gym. So
really, my wife does a ton. She takes care of the kids. I do everything from working out at the gym to working on the cars to driving, being here. She's always behind the scenes supporting me and taking care of our kids. So that's a huge thing. Without her, there's no way I could do this. And of course, everybody that chips in and helps, all the companies, Nitto Tire, Raceline Wheels, CA Tech, and then also, Hickman, everybody that chips in and does it. And then it always helps to have, good racers like Jay and all these guys show up and push, our goal is to get faster. And you got guys like him running you down, he forces you to go find another gear and find a little more speed everywhere on the track. So that's what we had to do today to beat him, and hopefully I can keep him in that 2nd spot.
Well, once again, congratulations, Paul Wolf, up here in the #1 spot. You have another race tomorrow. Did this mentally prepare you for tomorrow's race? Because now you know that track so well by having 2 races today.
Yeah, it definitely does, but the big 4400 cars with 40-inch tires, they tend to tear it up, so you have to be able to evolve as the track evolves. So as line change, you have to be able to change your lines also as you're racing. So you can't just pick the same line and then run it. You have to read the terrain the whole time you're driving.
Well, good luck on tomorrow's race, but once again, congratulations, because right now it's all about the 4900 class, and here you are, 1st place in both of them. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, let's give it up for Paul Wolf in that #1 spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Kings of Chaos, the legends of horsepower, the machines built without limits, the Swiss Army knife of the off-road world. This is the Ultra 4 Racing 4400 class, the unlimited class where anything goes. These drivers strap into purpose-built monsters packing massive horsepower, four-wheel drive, and suspension travel that eats boulders for breakfast. From high-speed desert sprints to brutal rock climbs, the 4400 class is the ultimate test of man, machine, and pure determination. No rules on engines, no rules on tires, just raw speed, insane durability, and the fearless drivers pushing the edge of control. This is where champions are made and legends are born. After changing on O2 sensor between qualifying and the race, Paul Wolf battled Phil McGilton on a great first lap.
So in Ultra 4 racing, we race through everything. So if it rains, we still race. If it's muddy, we still race. We don't stop racing for nothing. We race through all of it, all the time. There's no rain outs, there's no rain delays, there's no, nothing. We race through it. So we run through water in the creeks. You got to watch, pay attention to all your electronics in the cars getting wet, make sure they're waterproof. We race through everything. It doesn't matter what it is. Heat, we race, out in the desert, 100+ the temperatures, we race in that. Cold, we raced in snow. We raced through all of it. It's Ultra 4. You better be ready for everything. Yeah, so here, when we overtake cars in front of us, the rule of thumb is you honk the horn. If they don't move, you bump them. If they don't move, then you can wreck them. That's legal in the rules. Most of us skip the horn part because a lot of guys go, I didn't hear it, you hear all this stuff. So my theory is you just hit them. Hit them, they don't get out of your way, you put them in the wall or wreck them, shove them through a corner, shove them in a tree, whatever you gotta do. Get around them, go. I don't have time to mess around. I give you a warning bump, get the hit, get out of my way.
The 4400 class will experience new climbs and obstacles that no other classes had to climb previously this weekend.
Hell's Gate is an obstacle here. It's a V-notch uphill climb, very steep. It's kind of V'd out and it's very technical to climb, but also takes a lot of horsepower and wheel speed. So you're coming through a creek, so your tires are wet. And when you enter into it, if you try to straddle the V-notch, which is the common sense thing to do, keep the car level and just climb straight up it, most of the time you don't have traction because the edges of the tires are pulling. You don't have the full contact patch of the tire. When you get into it on an angle, you run the risk of rolling the car over upside down and sliding back down on the roof. But that's the way you get the best traction. So it's a driver's game of how far can I tilt the car over to get the traction without flopping the car.
We have 11 4400 cars starting. There's a lot of water and mud. The 4800 and 46, the EMC guys just got finished. We have big cars. We're moving a lot of water. So now that water's been moved. Now we're gonna move it even further. We have, I think, four 4400 only trails. We're gonna be running water up those. Some of them have a lot of water. One of them's got a 4-foot hole in it. If you don't see it, you're going off in the hole. I'm more concerned about the water in the mud, messing with electronics, or getting into a slippery situation where we go off into the trees. We got to go up O'Schmidt. It's an off-camber, real loose drive, but down below it's wet. We can end up in trees in a bad place real quick. So trying to stay out of the way of the other guys. I hope they move over when I'm passing them, Paul. And, let's go out and have a good time. I'm not even worried about Chad. Chad's not going to even be close to us. He's starting behind me, so is Tad. They can't even ask Brad going, hey, where'd y'all meet him?
Scared of this guy right here? He's scared.
I am. Are you pregnant? Hey, congratulations.
He's got a Winstar bumper.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Respect.
I know. I'll winch him out of the trees. We've done that before. But, yeah, we got that dire wolf DNA, specially applied. you gotta look at the car closely, you'll see it. And we're just gonna go have some fun. It's dusty, it's wet, it's muddy. We're kind of worried about some fuel economy. It's gonna be right at 80 miles, I think. No, it's 60 miles. I have 40 gallons in here, but with the horsepower that we're gonna have to put down out here, we're only gonna get about 1.5 miles probably, a gallon. So it's gonna be close. It's gonna be interesting. There's some strategic stuff going on. And yeah, we're gonna see y'all at the finish line on podium.
Chip caught multiple flat tires on course and rolled over at the top of O. Schmidt on lap 1, but was able to land on his wheels and keep running his race.
My strategy is always just to go and have fun. Like, I don't want it to be frustrating. I don't want it to be a headache. You know, I do this because I have fun with the family. If my family stops coming, I don't want to do it without them. So for me, strategy for like this race is, since I won it 6 months ago for nationals, I kind of feel like I got to go out there and try to do it again. Like, was it just a fluke, or can I do it again? So I'm gonna be pushing myself in the same breath. You know, I don't want to push it hard enough to where I rolled on the qualifying course again and ruin my day. So we got to have that fine line of pushing the car hard enough and knowing where to push the car, that you can make up time and try to get that first place finish, but yet not destroy your car and come walking back with going, yeah, I don't know, I messed up. So, you know, I think the 3 years in this car that we've had is really taught us a lot, and we're ready to go forward. And this being the first start of the season, this will kind of play a lot. We're gonna run the whole Central Series. We're looking forward to Badlands, that's our home track. We're going out to Sturgis. We're also gonna include AOP, LS Fest, just because we have so much fun at those places. And it's a family, like again, me and my wife, the kid will go. AOP's got this creek. When we're not racing, we go down and hang out in the creek and just float and just have a good time, and it's not even racing. You know, there's cars up there, but we're down in the creek floating, having an adult beverage, just talking trash and, oh, did you see what's his name? Yeah, he rolled it. Yeah, dummy, didn't, too much power, that's what he gets. Or, it's, always something, whether it's Paul breaking something small or, Anthony hitting the rear steer at the wrong time and catching a tree. It's just, it's fun to sit there and laugh at each other. And, they've all laughed at me plenty of times and wondered where the heck I came from or what happened. And the last year when we won, it was like, where? Who? And it was just like, we just ran our own race. Just had a good day.
Paul battles Chad Hunt until Chad lost his driver's side rear tire and wheel just a mile from the finish. Chad finished 4th on the course. It was then Paul and Tad Dowker out front. Tad qualified 6th and worked his way through the field of drivers running a conservative race that would prevent him from experiencing any mechanical issues on course to finish 2nd overall, just behind Paul.
Yeah, it's adrenaline. I mean, it's so much fun. My background's in rock crawling, which it's fun, but there's no speed involved in it. And once you mix in the speed and the technicality of the rocks and different aspects, it's as much fun as I've ever had driving a car. And it's just like every course is different. Even if you go to the same course, 3 different years, it's different every time. So you can't just come up with like one winning combination. You got to constantly evolve, constantly make the car better, make yourself better, make the team better. So just the challenges that come with it, and just the competition level. I mean, you're driving against these guys that are phenomenal, and you get to go push yourself and see where you stack up. I think in Ultra 4 in general, this is what I learned anyways from when I started. I got humbled in my first couple races pretty bad, right? I got lapped by Eric Miller, right? He flew by me. I thought I was fast. I was not fast. And I was like, I'm gonna stay with this guy. I don't care what happens, I'm gonna stay with this guy. And about 2 seconds later, I couldn't see him anymore. I think a lot of it's the mentality and the car setup. You know, you can go out and drive and just kind of maintain and just push yourself to, you know, a comfortable pace, and you can finish the race, you can have a reasonable finish. But if you really want to have a shot at the top, you know, top 3 spots, you got to be committed to, I don't want to say wreckers or checkers, but you got to have that mentality. Like, if this doesn't work out, I'm comfortable putting it on the trailer and not finishing the race, you know? So you really got to be able to find that line. And then it's crazy as you get a couple laps in that you keep gaining a little bit, or you'll find little spots where you can gain a little bit and push yourself, push the car, and hopefully not over push. But it's all about pushing the car. The car can take more than you can, which is gonna sound crazy, but the car can usually take a lot more than you can. So, you know, figuring out how you can push, where you can push, and just not being scared to push that limit.
This is your spot this weekend.
Yep. Like I said, I'm just happy to redeem ourselves from Nationals. Felt like we had a really good car, really good crew at Nationals, and I let them down, throw the car up. But on a side note, I really got to thank Chip. There was a tree out there right before Rock Face. He kept getting in my way, and I'm glad he took it out because I was having a hard time getting around that one.
Did he really take it out?
Yeah, he really took it out. He took out like a 6-inch tree. I don't know what the front of his car looks like, but the tree's on the ground.
All right, let's give it up for Paul Wolf in that #1 spot out here in the 4,400 class. Tad Dowger and Chris Branton, and also Paul Wolf, you also are getting a national championship.